When? Let me just... My phone gets handled a lot. There we go. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I'm still... I'm just going to wait for everybody to come in before I say hello. I still haven't even finished editing. I started editing the putting together the light table, the plant table, and the seedling and planting the seeds. And guess what? Hey, Linda. And guess what? Something went wonky with my editing software when I was almost done, and I had to shut it down and start over, and I just did not have the strength or energy. So here I am 2 days in a row without a video for you guys, and I'm really sorry about that. It's just, you know, this is what happens. Okay, let me just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. All right, I'm going to wait for everybody to get in. It is a beautiful spring-like day here today. The fire is out. And I just got out of bed 40 minutes ago. It was another painful night. And I did not sleep well. And I'm still, the pain isn't as bad as it was yesterday. My hips are not so bad. My back is not so bad. My knees are what is worse, but I'm better than I was yesterday, but still not up to my full yellow. Because if it goes from red to dark green, I will never be green again. The best I can do is yellow. And I ain't there yet. I'm probably at about orange. Hey. I'm going to say hi to everybody in a minute. I just want to give everybody a chance to come in, and I'll just talk nonsense until then. Has anybody... Oh, I got to turn the do not disturb on here. There it is. Excuse me. We're supposed to get snow next, like by Monday. Excuse me. Well, Miss Magoo, are you here to say hi to everybody while they're coming in? Eh? Of course she is. I just got the phone set up the way I want it. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Our weasel was here again last night. We were watching. I caught a little bit of it on film, but it was from a distance. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And Gracie wants to catch the weasel so bad, and I said, even it don't, it wants to catch the mice. I don't even know how it got in the house. It had to have followed the mice in somewhere. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now look over here and say hi. Nah, Do the Mona Lisa smile. Say hello, please. No, over here, Gracie. No, look at her being a bitch. Gracie, over here. Over here. No. Right here, look. Look. Oh, you're being a twat waffle. There. We already had some snuggles, eh? We already give you a whole scratch over when you came in from outside. There you go. Bugger off. Well, I don't know, man, but I just know that it's quite comfortable in my kitchen, and they don't chew wires. So, I was going to ask you guys something, and then Gracie got me all kerfubbled. I was going to transplant spider plants today because this one and the one in the living room are kind of stringy and they don't like direct sunlight. So this window is perfect for that, but I just don't have the strength and the energy. I can't remember what I was going to ask. Y'all. Let's pop out. Well, there's 54 people here. So let's pop out the participants list. Remember, before I do this, peacock. No, it doesn't. It kind of does look like a peacock, but look at this one. You want peacock look. Whoops. Look at this one. Boom. That to me is more of a peacock tail. I have lots of fans. See? Lots of fans. This work is driving me crazy, so this is all right. Let's pop out the participants list. Remember, if you want me to say hello, then say hello in the chat, so you will be on the participants list. I'm not playing with you again, Gracie. You just, you insulted the YouTube fans. You insulted our YouTube family who love you so much. This must be 9-year-old attitude that she's coming up with. All right, let me pop out the participants list and say, hi, Autumn Leaf. How are you? Barefoot Chickens, Kimmy Blackrock, Cindy Metroff, Diane Mason, Donna Rubber Band Man Low, Becky Emerald Skies, Helen Burke, Waldo, who I just discovered is a woman, Jules, or did I misgender you? I don't know how it works. Jules, Kindle, Lacey Black, Linda Bopp, Lori Lazorma Chesney, Lori M, Lynn Smith, Minnesota Farmer's Wife Julie, Rosie Bernard, Sheila Hubbard, Throwback Thursday, good to see you again, Tina Elliott, and Tender Rose. How is everybody doing today? I'm still in a lot of pain. I just talked to Howie before I got on here, and I said, you may be getting grilled cheeses for supper. He said, sounds good to me. He's not going to be impressed that we're out of pickles now. We're out of pickles. He ate the last jar. That half-gallon jar, I just opened it like 2 weeks ago, is gone. So I said, pickles are on sale at Food Basics this week. And he goes, oh, yeah. I said, yeah, 1 liter jar. It's $5.99. Or is it $4.99? I don't care. That's a lot of money for pickles. Making applesauce or butter, I guess the crock pot because I got a lot of apples. Well, there you go. Waste not, want not. Hi, Garnett. How are you, darling? Hi, Kindle. Oh, a cup of tea. Oh. I'm getting really frustrated with trying to talk to Bubba over FaceTime. He's getting frustrated, and it breaks my heart because he reaches for the phone. His mommy won't have it, and he's not just crying and fussing. He's reaching with both hands and going, Mom, 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 Mom. So I think he wants Granny. I could use the empty jar. Of course I could use the empty jar, but it's only a 1 liter. So I think this week is going to be, I don't know if I'm going to get Howie to go to Costco, but we'll see. I drink orange pico and black tea. I'm not a big tea. I have lots of tea, different flavors, and I don't mind them. But I drink about 3 of these a day. This is a 30-ounce mug. Look, this is the size of my mug. It's almost as big as my head, okay? Yeah, but that would be really expensive, Lacey, to buy the cucumbers now. Gonna work on some mixed fruit jam before they go bad. I drink black tea and orange pico tea. My favorites on my everyday tea, if I can't get my hands on the stuff I prefer, it used to always be Tetley. I was raised on, you got to hear this story, okay? I have enough UK blood in me to be very specific about my tea. Now, my grandfather on my mother's side always drank Salada. And Salada's a good tea. But when my parents moved down the street into their own home, my mom refused to have Salada in the house. She bought Red Rose because it was a Canadian tea company. Red Rose was what I was raised on until I was 17, 19, somewhere around there. I stayed with my cousin Donna a few times, but I lived there for a while too. And I always thought that Red Rose was all there was. And then while I was at my cousin Donna's, she said, "Oh, Bev, you've never had Tetley." I said, "Really?" So I had Tetley, and it was the best cup of tea I had ever had. Sad to say, right? But it is a good cup of tea. Well, Salada is from Apple, California. Hi, Susan Moreno. How are you? Stacy, Lena K, Deborah Barnes, Sherry Leach. So, you know, the commercial, the Red Rose tea. Someone takes a sip of it. Oh, this is lovely tea. Only in Canada, eh? Pity, right? To get the free figurines, we had probably a cookie tin full of those figurines. And I wish to God I'd save them because they're worth so much money now. I gave them away as prizes in a penny fair I put on did a game, and I did a penny fair, and anybody who won got one of those Red Rose things. I gave away probably that many that day. But so I went to my cousin Donna's and I tried Tetley, and it was the most delicious tea I had ever tasted. Right. So when I went home to visit my dad, I don't know if I was living there or not, I took a box of Tetley with me. And he goes, "Make a cup of tea, make a pot of tea." So I rinsed out the pot with boiling water, and I put in 2 Tetley. And I filled it up and I put it in its basket. It was a Chinese teapot that had its own basket. And he says, "Oh, you got to let it steep." My dad was very particular. You couldn't pour the boiling water over the tea bag unless it was boiling. So like my kettle, if it shuts off and it takes me 5 seconds to get to it, I have to turn it on boil again just to make sure it's boiling when it goes over my tea bag. So anyway, long story short, Dad has a cup of tea and he goes, "What did you do to the tea?" I said, "Oh, it's not what I did. It's what I'm showing you. Dad, this is Tetley, best tea you'll ever drink." And he said, "Yeah, that's a good cup of tea." After that, Red Rose tasted like hot, warm water sieved through dirty sweat socks, you know? Peaches and dried orange. Well, to me, those aren't real. Those are more herbal teas. I'm like straight China Black or Orange Pico, right? Hey, Seashell. Aloha, darling. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, really? The Red Rose things. Hi, Andra, Jules. So, Dad, after that, never drank anything else but Tetley. So my cousin Donna introduced it to me, and I introduced it to my dad. Until the day he died, he drank Tetley, and like he drank it for the last 20 years of his life. Now, Ochaga tea, isn't that fungus that grows on birch trees or something? It's really, really good for you. So my go-to tea when I can't get I got spoiled by Taylors of Harrogate's Yorkshire Gold and Yorkshire teas of all kinds. I like the Taylors of Harrogate, Scottish breakfast, English breakfast, Irish breakfast, all very good teas, but very expensive. Yorkshire Gold and the Yorkshire with the big red stripe or orange stripe or whatever it is. And those, when I don't have those, I drink Tetley. That's it. Tea, Yorkshire Gold. So, hey, barefoot chickens. Handpicked in the forests of Eastern Canada. There you go. Oh, Canada. Don't get me started. You know, people were upset about the political bent. All I know is hashtag. See, I'm not even, never mind. Hashtag Trudeau must go. I call him the puppet master because he thinks he's a master of puppets when he's actually the puppet himself, or a sock puppet. My brother drinks Earl Grey. I don't mind Earl Grey. It's a bergamot tea that goes well with honey and lemon. But Howie accidentally got me one in an airport once and had milk put in it, and I just about threw up. So tonight is the interview of Tucker. I'm so excited to watch. Lacey, where is that going to be? Like, where are we going to get that? Because I would like to actually record it while I'm watching it and do my reactions, because I don't want to watch it and then do a reaction video. Well, yeah, well, a lot of herbal teas are like that. When it comes to herbal teas, I like things like, passion fruit and mango and berries and like fruity. Because when you have those, you can make very nice sun steep tea, yes. But you can make very nice iced tea. You do it the same way. You put a couple of tea bags in a half-gallon jar of room temperature water from your well, preferably, and then you set it out. I set it out on the railing in the sun, and it steeps. Now, if you do that with a mango passion fruit or something like that, it still makes a really lovely tea. Only it's a really nice cold sweet tea, right? Like an iced tea. So, yeah, pretty much me too, Stacy. I heard X was going to post it. Oh, I'll have to watch. X Twitter. Okay. All right. Does everyone drink Darjeeling? I don't even know what Darjeeling is. You grew up on Tetley, but over ice. Hey, Missy Royer, how's it going? Were those figurines of little animals in the tea box? Oh yeah, they had little animals. They had little storybook characters, like, little houses. They were just wonderful. So yeah, I don't know how I just spent 17 minutes talking about tea. I really don't know how I do it. So I may be boring when it comes to tea, but it's kind of like Howie, Howie likes dark roast, 2 cream, extra large dark roast, 2 cream. And when he saves his Tim Hortons cup, and I keep trying to tell him to get a different, get one that's not, trying to get one that's not like a leftover Tim Hortons paper cup, because those things have toxins in them. And the longer you use them, the longer they leach out. And he reuses the same cup. Like, he'll make himself a cup of coffee in the morning on his thing, and then he'll go and he'll drink it until he gets to the Tim Hortons, and then he'll get a fresh one, and he'll use that cup all day to drink coffee at work, and then he brings it home, rinses it out, and uses it the next morning until he goes to Tim Hortons again. So he does 1 Keurig coffee a day and 1 Tim Hortons coffee a day. But he's a dark roast guy. He's, once in a while he'll like, French vanilla creamer in it a little bit, but Community Coffee dark roast, I've never even heard of it. It will be on Rumble, Potato Head. Well, I love tea. Hey, Cannabis Kid, Fortier, how's it going? I'm not huge on green tea. I'm really not. Everyone thinks when they see me as a tea person, they think that I must love all the teas in the world. I'm actually very narrow-minded when it comes to my tea. I have been using your homemade cleaner, cheap and works great. Thanks. Replace the vinegar with rubbing alcohol, and you can use it to kill wasps and yellow jackets even while flying. Wow, Michael, that's huge. We're talking Vinegar and Dawn, right? You're having a kid in April. And how many goats do you have that got pregnant? Like, are you only getting, it might be twins, right? Oh, you're saying you're pregnant. Oh, well, congratulations. I do black tea unless it's mint. I don't like mint tea. I don't like mint much of anything. I have to be in the mood to eat a peppermint patty. I really have to be in the mood. Unless it's mint, and then I guess it's green tea. Well, whatever. Everybody does their own, but I was raised on regular tea with milk and sugar, when I was a kid. And we'd get a glass of orange juice sometimes with our breakfast. We'd get orange juice 2-3 times a week. Remember, my parents were working class, and my dad and my mom was a stay-at-home mom. But once in a blue moon, when it was really cold, Mom would make us a hot, sweet tea, rich with milk, lots of milk, like almost a cambric tea. And we would have that before going to school. Almost a latte. You know what I mean? You'd get the hot tea in the bottom, and she'd put hot milk in it. And that was to keep us warm while we went to school, with bread bags over our socks in putting on holy boots, Who's the new member of the family? Oh, your wife is 7 months pregnant. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, that's a child, honey. Kids come from goats. You know what I mean? It's summer. It has to be Tetley. It has to be sun tea. We go through 200 tea bags in a summer at least. Howie doesn't drink tea anymore. Sometimes I'll offer him a cup of tea and he'll go, yeah, that sounds nice, but it's rare. He's a coffee man. I've been trying to get him off coffee for years. But I go through, personally, a 300 box. If all I'm drinking is Tetley, I'll go through a 300 box in let's see. Let's do this. Let's do the math. I'm going to say 4 of these a day. 4. Okay, clear. 300 box of tea bags divided by 4 a day. I go through a 300 box of Tetley at the very, very, very conservative effort of every month and a half. And it's probably more than that. So do you know if it's a boy or a girl? Cannabis Kid, are you Canadian? Canadian Cannabis Kid. Sounds kind of cool. And is this your first baby? This is a really big deal. Enjoy being a parent. If anybody ever asks me any advice, don't try and be your child's friend. Love them. Show them the right way of life. But don't not discipline them because you're afraid they won't like you. It's not your job to be their friend. They're going to have many friends throughout their lives. And only one set of parents, right? Yep. Today I'm drinking Yorkshire Gold. Thank you. I think it was Rebecca who sent me these. I'm going to be a great grandma in April. Oh, Pam. I used to say I got granny envy, but I don't. I got my Bubba. And my Bubba's getting really frustrated with trying to talk to Granny on FaceTime. He wants to get his hands on me. I mean, there's a picture when he was the second time I spent with him. I got a picture where I was holding him. He wasn't an infant, but he was still 7 months old. He's standing up on my lap and stuff. And he leaned forward and he put his forehead to mine like this, and he grabbed my face with his little fingers because he's like, I'm not letting you go. That was the second time, right? So now he's trying to do the grabbing with the phone, and I can't decide whether it's the phone he wants or if it's his granny he wants, because we get talking and I sing to him and I play peekaboo with the fan. And then he's like, give me the phone, Mom. Give me the phone. Give me the phone. No, I want the phone, Mom. But inspired by your wasp spray in a spray bottle, 2 teaspoons of Dawn. Fill the bottle half to 2/3 with 91% alcohol. Fill remainder to the top of the bottle with white vinegar. Really? You know what also is good? That's good for is your pump spray. Your pump spray of Dawn. The Dawn spray. It's like a half a cup of water, half a cup of 90% alcohol, and like a quarter cup of Dawn or an eighth of a cup of Dawn, and you put it in the spray bottle and you shake it up, and that's your foam spray. 36 years. Are we talking kids or tea, Kimmy? There's going to be 12 here in London. I know. It's supposed to be up to 5 tomorrow. I haven't got a fire going, and it's just nice. I said, he wants my baby, he wants his granny. And I'm going to be talking to him soon. So I have, Catherine. Yeah, Catherine, it's supposed to get up to 5 or 6 here tomorrow. Mama wants a granny. So I said to Howie, what are you doing this weekend? He said, not driving to Kingston. I went, right? So, oh, kids. Well, it was really hard because I wanted my kids, like, I was hard on my kids. I wasn't always the best parent, but they always were fed. They always knew they were loved, even when they were hating on me. They were always fed, always clothed in clean clothes, and they were always loved, right? They had a roof over their heads. Those are the, when you're a parent for the first time, it's hard. It's not difficult, but it can be difficult to get lost in the wonder of having a baby. After, you hold a baby, everything's wonderful. But a million things happen all at once the moment the baby's born. You start to worry about their education. You start to worry about what's out there in the world that can hurt them. You start to worry about, how are you going to protect them? How are you going to protect them mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? Bullies at school, homework, nutrition, all of these things are way, way up here. And having your child like you for your decisions should be way, way down here, right? But when you become a grandparent, all of these things, you still worry about the world and stuff like that, but more of that is on the parents. And they're really great. My son and daughter-in-law are really good parents. And they're trying, he goes to play groups. They take him to play groups, swimming, the library, all of these things. He goes somewhere at least 3 times a week for socialization and get an activity. And that's awesome. I wish I could have done that. My kids had Cubs and Beavers and soccer. That was about it. And I made their costumes and stuff. But as a grandparent, all of those concerns are there, but they're not in your wheelhouse to fix. Your job and your job only is to be the best, softest place for a grandbaby to land when nobody else understands. Come to Granny. Granny will love you. Granny will cuddle you. Granny will sing to you. Granny will ply you with cookies. And then teach you how to garden. All for the absolute joy of being a grandparent. See, I look at parenting as a job that not everybody's good at, but it is a job because you got a lot. It's kind of like running a company. You got so many things to think about and to look after, right? But when you're a grandparent, that's all taken care of. They're doing their job. You get to sing and dance and show worms in the garden and show things growing and how to do all these wonderful things and how to dance and how to laugh. That's being a grandparent to me. Our oldest birthday is, oh my goodness. My sons are going to be 31 and 36 this month. And you're making me, I know, you know what, Diane? My grandparent was the mother. My mother, did not act like a grandparent because she raised me and my brother. Well, there you go. She had to be a parent, didn't she? And that's sad. It's good that you had a grandparent to raise you, but it's sad that she missed out on the grandmother part, that she had to be a parent again, right? Diane, you be really grateful that you had a granny that you can remember and love and miss. I had neither. My dad's mom died when he was 8 years old, and my mom's mother died when she was pregnant with her firstborn. My mom was pregnant with her firstborn, just like my mom died when my sister was pregnant with her firstborn. It's I don't think anybody understands the absolute rocking of my world becoming a grandparent was. To the point when I found out I was going to be a grandparent, I lost my shit because I had just gotten to the point where I was saying, you know what, God, if I never have grandchildren, please help me to be that okay. Please help me for that to be okay with me. Because I didn't want it to wreck my relationship with Arthur and Mel by putting expectations on them. 3 weeks after that I had that talk with God, I found out I was going to be a grandmother. And it wasn't planned. It was, oops. How did that happen? But guess what? I got an understanding with my maker. So, how you doing? Need a little more, Bev? Join Patreon for Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to me. Did I need a little more what? Hi, Nat. How are you? Our grandson, hang on, called me safe place when he was little and would be running or playing. He would run and grab my leg and say, safe place. Oh my God, that's cute. That is adorable. That is kind of why I resent having to raise my grandson, because it takes some of the fun out of being a grandma. Well, Kimmy, just be grateful you're there for them. Okay? You're going to have, yes, you got to raise them. But, here's a part where maybe you can, if you're raising, how old are the grandkids that you're raising? If you have grandkids that you're raising, pick 1 day or 2 days a month and call it Granny Day or Grandma Day. And what that means is you are going to take your grandchildren and you're going to do something you would that is totally out of the wheelhouse of being a parent. You're gonna bake cookies. Or you're gonna go to the museum, or you're gonna go to the park, or you're gonna read stories and have hot cocoa. Pick a day and pick something specific that is like a grandmother activity. It's like me and Bubba. He's, I sing to him and he dances and he loves the bagpipes because his other grandmother plays bagpipes. And that's where they're staying right now until the house is finished, being renovated. And Bubba will be showing me things. He loves his busy board, guys. He loves his busy board. And he's got all the buttons figured out. He even had the dial done one, but he hasn't got the key and the thing. He will be 5 in June. Well, I mean, they get to that age, eh? You got to enjoy where, they just love being with their grandparents because their grandparents are fun. Like, I surely will hear Arthur say at some point when he's older, or when Bubba's older, I'm sure I'm going to hear Arthur say, that is not the woman who raised me. I love my grandma. I want to go live with my grandma. That's not the woman who raised me, right? And it's not, because now I'm not a parent. I'm a grandparent, right? We had Grandpa Day. He would take me to the driving range and teach me to hit golf balls till I had blisters. There you go. Well, there you go. There you go, Kimmy. I mean, just because you have to be the parent, it doesn't mean you can slice out some time to be a grandparent. Don't take that away from you and your grandkids. That is such an important part of their life. I never had grandparents. The only grandparent I had was my grandfather, who lived in a veterans hospital with no legs, who died when I was 7. I remember Granddad, but I don't remember much. I remember the wheelchair more than anything. I was just a little kid when he died, Even moms need a timeout day. They used to have Mother's Day out at the churches, except for childcare for a day, etc. for childcare for a day. Cool. I said to my brother, where is our mother watching with her? I said to my brother, where is our mother watching her with my kids? I'm not sure I understood that. Hi, Chanel. We get our pickles at Costco. I think that's what I'm going to get Howie to do, is he's going to have to get a big jar of pickles at Costco. Because harvest is a long way off. I mean, I still got snow out there, and we're going to get some more snow on Monday. So I'm going to enjoy the... He has cerebral palsy, so it's a little extra work, less time for my 2 older grandsons. Now, can I ask how you ended up parenting your grandkids, Kimmy? Does mom wander away? I said, my brother, where is our mother? Oh, watching her with your kid. Okay, you were watching her with your kids and going, where's my mother? I don't know. I don't recognize this lady. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha, Chanel. I thought so. Well, welcome aboard, Cannabis Kid. Canadian Cannabis Kid. Different women as grandma. My mom wasn't demonstrative with us, but with my kids, she was all lovey. Well, it got to the point where when Arthur and them, they would come to visit. Arthur, he doesn't do it so much anymore because he has a wife, right? But when he would come up and visit or come down from it when he was living at his dad's, when he got taller than me, he had this habit when he would greet me after not seeing me for a long time, is I would reach out to hug him, and he would just put his head on my shoulder and kind of melt into me. Like, okay, I'm the baby again. And the last time he did that, I said, Arthur, you can't do this anymore, honey. You're crushing mommy's back. Because he's 6'1", But you still have moments. Like one day last year, Briar was here, and I made him breakfast before Howie took him home, right? And I made him boiled eggs and toast. Now, I eat boiled eggs and toast totally different than I used to. I just hard boil an egg, a little bit soft in the center, and I chop it up on a piece of toast and throw some ketchup on it and wrap the bread around it and eat it like a hot dog. But my mother did this for me, and I did it for my kids. You put it in the egg cup, and you cut the top off, and you slice the first piece of toast into fingers so they can dip their toast in their egg, and then when the fingers are all gone, mommy would come and scoop the egg out onto the rest of the egg onto the other piece of toast, and they'd eat that. So Briar's going to be 31. Okay, he's going to be 31 this month. And earlier this year, I made him boiled eggs and toast, 2 eggs and some toast fingers and a slice of toast. And he sat down and he went, and I went, what? What did I do wrong? He said, nothing, Mom. He said, I just went back to being a little kid there for a minute. And I went, oh, baby. And I gave him a hug. And sometimes that's all it takes, was to do something you did for your kids when they were children that you don't get to do anymore, right? Not all the time, but that's how it's like Briar going, oh, I made me toast and eggs with fingers. Thank you, Mommy. You're a 30-year-old child saying that, right? Too much for my daughter to handle. She's a mess, let's say. Well, we'll keep her in our prayers, Kimmy. Miniature figurines back then. Yeah, and the red rose tea. My mother is not the same with my nephew as she is with me, so I get it. Part of it is also that she is probably too young when she had me. And you know what? Tender Rose, you're right. Kimmy, it takes a lot. I mean, I'm 60 years old, and if I had to raise my grandchild, I'd do it, but it would kill me. It would physically kill me. Right? So I'm grateful that my grandson sees his other grandmother every day. But he gets me only so often, and I think that's why it's like, I mean, we're overdue for a visit, right? Yeah, of course. Of course, it's a sweet moment with Briar. Briar. My boys are two totally different people, and yet they're brothers. Like Arthur has 6 more siblings by his biological father that he knows and communicates with and visits and all that stuff. But Arthur is Briar's only brother, right? And they're different people. They understand each other, but they're two totally different people. And Briar's my baby. The fact that he has social anxiety disorder and is on the spectrum, I think makes it more so, right? But I've never been prouder of my children. My oldest son is rewiring a house that was probably, well, let's put it this way, the original wiring in the house was aluminum. And he's rewiring Melanie's grandparents' house. He's been renovating it since last summer, right? And the wiring's almost done, the plumbing's almost fixed, and then the walls go back, the walls that need going up go up, and then the floors get put down, and then mommy and then granny and granddad can come and visit. Hibiscus tea. But, you know, Arthur will come and he'll little things. I have a picture, honest to God. I have a picture the last time we visit. I'm holding Bubba. Like I'm holding Bubba. He's almost on my hip now, right? He's a year old. And there's a picture of Arthur and I. I'm holding him, and Arthur and I are both going, ah, like we're biting his head. Baby. I was holding him, and I kissed his head, and then I went, brains. And Arthur looked at me and went, baby brains, so tender. And we went, ah, and we put our mouths on his head. And Bubba's like, what? Somebody took a picture of me and Arthur going, baby brains. He is Arthur's not necessarily just skilled. He is a learner. And lifting him has my sciatica all oh baby. She would make a red velvet cake for my birthday and make it in her honor on my birthday. Well, okay. So that's a beautiful memory. That's a beautiful memory. Arthur he's 7 years university, and he's been working the last few years with a contractor, and he's learned a lot of stuff. But the truth is, when it came to wiring, like my dad wired our whole house when I was 12. When we moved from Toronto to Apsley and built the Viceroy, Dad did all the wiring. And then he had an inspector come in, and the inspector said, okay, you need to do this and this and this, right? But the thing is when it comes to wiring, it's, you know, there's the basics, and then there's, I can't wire my whole house. So what he did is he sat down with the code book for where they live, and he checked all the wiring, and not only like, because everything in the house was to code when it was built or when it was last wired, but the problem is the wiring is old, and they had things on max. Like if you have a junction box in the wall and you can run the ceiling lamp and an outlet and another outlet off that one junction box, providing it's the right size, right? But they were there's a maximum of how many things you can put on a junction box. And he was saying, well, everything was to the maximum, and some stuff had been built in afterwards and has to be unbuilt and taken out and walls taken down. And so he just sat down with a code book. He did all his research on what kind of wire he needed. Then he went through all the codes, and he's rewired everything. And he's just waiting for an electrician to come and inspect it and then hook it up to the panel. Now, Arthur can hook it up to the panel. That's the easy part. He's done all the hard part. But if the electrician connects it to the panel, then the electrician comes with his own inspector, right? So it kind of works out really well. But I mean, I got to give kudos to that kid. I mean, he's doing this, right? He's got to get a plumber in because he doesn't know how to fix one problem. But I mean, he's making bathrooms bigger and putting new floors in and all this stuff. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Yeah, I went to university for 7 years. For first year was a bunch of topics, but most of his university was on philosophy. So, I mean, Arthur and Mel are very well educated people. Briar finished high school, and I'm really proud of my son for becoming the man that his grandfather would his grandfather's watching him with pride, right? My dad. Briar, now I know what she's barking at, eh? The weasel comes out from behind the dishwasher. 2 courses for a philosophy degree. And Briar graduated high school, and that was not an easy thing to do. I mean, I literally bowed to every single one of his teachers and the principal when I walked up to them and did one of these, you know, because if it wasn't for them, Briar never would have survived high school. He never would have made it, right? And he is, I mean, they wanted him on Ritalin and Concerta and all this stuff. So when we changed schools, we took him off it for the summer. And my son has a full-time job, pays his bills, doesn't use drugs, doesn't smoke, doesn't drink. He has video games, favorite foods, and reading. He loves to read. So I mean, what's not to be proud of, right? Living life, my Briar's living life on life's terms without medication. I wish I could say the same about myself. Hey, Robin Rose. Hey, Joanne Nelson. Does ferret have a cat box yet? It isn't a ferret, it's a weasel. You know how ferrets are like this? This guy's only like this big. And then there's his tail. Very, very tiny. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Joanne. So, I've got to get off here now so I can finish edit. I can re-edit all of the setting up of the light table and starting my seeds and stuff, and I'll put that in a video for tomorrow. And I'm just making grilled cheeses for supper, so there's no pantry pull meal, right? But you'll get your oh, I'm glad you're great, Deborah. I know, he's very cute. Winnie's very cute. Do you all have rabies issues in Canada? Only in the high heat of summer. That's why they call them the dog days of July. When it's the absolute hottest is when you have the most rabies for some reason. That's why they're called dog days. Oh, Kathy. Hi, honey. Hi, Frida. Get him a box for a house. Make him a pet. He'll keep the mice away. Well, I was, why would I get him a box? I don't know where he's going. But listen, everybody, have a great afternoon. I've got to now medicate and edit because I'm getting my hips and my lower back are really painful just sitting here. Okay. So I got to go and get some work done. And then I got to go, oh, I got to tell you. Don't know if it's true, but it looks legit. I'm doing another product review. I think. But a week or so ago, I was approached by a power lift chair company. And I thought, nobody's going to give me this. They wanted to know what my analytics were and blah, 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 blah. And apparently I have, everything seems good, but I'm waiting for the final confirmation. I may be getting a brand new power lift chair. And the power lift chair has my chair, the feet lift. Okay, when you sit down, right? Like if the power lift chair is up to a position where you want to stand, then when you go sit here and then the back goes up, and then when the back is up, then the feet come up, right? This one has 2 individual motors, one for the feet, one for the back. It has built-in massage. It has built-in heat. The headrest cushion can be put in 3 different positions, and it goes right flat if you need to sleep in it. And it has a USB port attached, like in the remote. So I'm, there could be, it sounds too good to be true to me. So I'm holding my breath, but I haven't said anything about it until like I'm on my 3rd or 4th email discussing how this is going to work. So if this happens and later on down the line, you go to their website and you see me on their website, it's because I'm going to give them rights to the video to use on their website, right? Not rights. I'm going to give them the rights to use it, right? So fingers crossed. I really could use a new power chair because mine's dying. The heated seat part no longer works, and the button doesn't always work for raising the feet. So I'm really, really excited about this. And what's really funny is how he fixed it so I can get the feet thing to lift up and down again. But when he fixed it, I said, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do when this power chair dies. Right? Because I can't get up and you've seen me fold laundry on the couch, but I have to use a walker and it's very, very painful to get up from the couch because it's so low. Right? So fingers crossed that I have a power lift chair coming with a discount code and with a product review. So keep your fingers crossed, folks. I could really use the chair, and it's almost like God's just saying, hey, if this works out, it's God going, I'm listening. This is Mrs. Wolfie saying, I got to get to work, and then I got to put some amyl gel on my hips and lower back and get into my power lift chair. All right. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And look forward to tomorrow's video on the setting up of the dining room table for plants and the starting of some seeds. And we're going to be doing some more seeds soon because today is the 8th and I only have to wait 6 more days before I start planting other things. I love you guys. Mwah! Thank you for your patience with me not having videos right now, okay? I love you guys.